Hello, welcome to the Transfarm 4.0 channel. Transfarm 4.0 is a project funded by the Interreg Central Europe Programme, and we are today discussing of sustainable and productive agriculture with a group from the Agricultural University of Krakow in Poland. So we have Tomasz Czech, who is the director of the Technology Transfer Office. We have Wojciech Przywala. I'm sorry for my awful pronunciation in Polish, who is a technology broker, and JERZY PRÓCHNICKI, who is a specialist in sustainable agriculture. And we also have Jan Sienkiewicz from our local project partner, ARSA, the development agency. I first of all welcome on behalf of the Transfarm team our speakers, and I would like to launch some quick fire question to you. First of all, what are the drivers that you see today for sustainable and productive agriculture in Poland and in the Central European region? Who wants to take the question? Tomasz, maybe you.
No, this is not so easy question for me, but according to that question, what would be the drivers of adaptive farming to climate change? In our region in Poland, actually from the few last years, we have a very big problem with a lack of the water in the meaning of farming. So we still work to work with the basic parameters which influence of soil absorption of water. So we, for example, try to introduce the organic fertilize, who cause the increase the concentration of organic carbon, which influence on high absorption of water, and this is the idea. Also, we try to change the way of seeding seeds. So we try to introduce and implement the new way of seeding the seed at the spring and at the winter wheats and other plants. What more? Maybe JERZY PRÓCHNICKI will help me with that question.
Yes, of course. The situation in Poland is quite complicated. Because we have not so fertile soils like in Western Europe, and climatic conditions are not so favorable. And this is the reason why the organic matter content in Polish soils is relatively low. And this is even the part of the problem that we have a constant troubles with dry periods and the lack of water. And this is even very good point for next activities in terms of how to repair the agriculture environment, how to regenerate, because sustainable is not only to keep what we have today, but even to develop and to help or to regulate the climatic changes or turn back the climatic changes, storing the carbon dioxide in the soil back. It means as organic matter. And it will help, of course, the whole agriculture and storing water, storing fertilizer as well, and helping for good development for any crop.
Thanks. And how do you see the reaction, the behavior by Polish farmers in respect of climate change issues? Are they willing to embrace a change of new technologies that could actually help mitigate the effect of agriculture on climate change? How do you consider the situation in your country at the moment?
And who is answering?
You?
Okay, good. So we have a quite mixed situation because we have, I would say, 20% of farmers which are really aware about the problem, and they are thinking how to change the model of the farm, how to react on the situation. And we shouldn't forget they are living in the market situation. They have to earn money. They have to have the markets for the products, and to change it, to accommodate to the new situation. And especially this is really not easy task, because we have now, or the farmers are somehow surprised with Green Deal regulations, with new project from the fields to the fork, and they are now looking for, what does it mean for me? Will I have additional money from European Union to survive, or to change, or to invest in my farm, to change the profile of the production accordingly to the new situation, or I will pay for everything from my own pocket? And regrettably, 80% of the farmers, they are even not really aware. They heard something. Yeah, there will be some troubles on the horizon, but we don't know what does it mean for us, and we will see what will the Premier Minister say in the TV about.
Thank you. And now I got a question for the gentleman involved in technology transfer and technology brokerage. So maybe Wojciech, you could take this one. What are at the moment the main difficulties in getting technologies to farmers? Is it the lack of awareness? Is it inefficiency in the system? Is it that there are too many technologies and devices around which make the choice so complicated for farmers? Where do you see the bottleneck?
I think there are many factors, but first of all, of course, some funds, some donations for that. Of course, farmers, entrepreneurs are looking for some funds. So, as Jerzy said, maybe Green Deal will be this occasion, yeah, for that. But of course, we are looking for farmers who want to cooperate. So our technology transfer is the main place to work with us, because we have this center of new technologies from our university, so we can share our knowledge, look for opportunities to implement some technologies to farmers, to entrepreneurs. But of course, the lack of awareness is the main problem. But we are trying to also educate, not only like B2B, but also educate some people around us. NGOs, of course, are doing well, very good job. So I think the ecological awareness in Poland is from last years is growing, so this is the very good trend, and I think it will be more increasing in the future. Yeah, maybe Tomasz also want to say something.
Thank you, Tomasz. And I would add like just one last question for you, Tomasz.
Okay.
Which is you run, of course, the technology transfer office, so that entails a lot of contacts and collaboration with companies, with industry that can provide solutions. So how do you see that environment, that ecosystem in Poland as a source of solutions to the problems that we just mentioned?
I think that a community in our country is still creating, because we have many different ideas for cooperation between the farmers, between the scientists, and between the companies which are on the farming market. And for example, we could divide that idea for create and cooperation, the idea for creating the clusters. The living labs is strictly from the few years ago the new idea in which the companies and company together with the scientists and together with the farmers try to develop the new technology, and at the end the farmers are tested on their farm and give the feedback for research and companies team. This is a quite new idea, but of course we from the many years ago we have also the community which is named the producers group. So also that community in Poland, we don't have the many communities such this, but these are also a very strong cooperation together in the production of typically, for example, the vegetables or others plants which they are focusing on their day's work. So, but we still try to create that cooperation, and we see that we need very strongly to involve in that process the farmers, because without their feedback, we see that the researcher could create a new technology, what they think, but at the end, this is very important what the farmers think about that technology and which they needed that technology. Yeah? So this is from what I see, not only our local problem, but this is mostly the problem at the university, that scientists create something, but at the end they don't even ask about that developed innovative products or technologies from the farmers. So this is the biggest idea, but we still try to be close to the farmers at our university, and we are in the many associations, and we still try to talk with them and ask about their needs. So
you're making efforts to involve the farmers, create new forms of collaboration, and bring ultimately innovation to the field. Yes. And that's what has to be done. Anyone feels like adding something right now? Yes. You wanted to say
maybe one word, only on one sentence. As usual, the devil is somewhere in details, because okay, we can have a lot of good ideas, and the ideas can be even proven under agricultural conditions in real agriculture, but there are more elements like, for example, investors, because everything needs money, and without money, even the best developed ideas will never exist in the reality. So we need ideas, we need money, and we need interested farmers at the same time, because if it will happen in different times, we'll never it will never work.
Yeah. So all three components are needed.
Yes.
Okay, I hope that Transfarm 4.0 will somehow contribute to make these components meet in new forms of collaboration. For the time being, I want to thank you all. Thanks Tomasz, Wojciech, Jerzy, and thanks Jan for organizing this. Thanks for you to follow the channel of Transfarm 4.0, a project funded by the Interreg Central Europe Programme. Cooperation is central. Bye-bye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.